Welcome back to Hundreds and Thousands.
Welcome back to the podcast where we watch Amy get slightly more and more unhinged with each date.
Which is so fun to listen to, but even more fun to live in and with.
And I think today's is really...
This is a foundational one.
Yeah, it's the foundation
This is like a coming of age moment for me, actually. This was a big one. This is a big one for me.
I'm excited to hear it now that you've lived it. I heard it as you were going through it.
You really heard it as I was going through it. You were there.
Day. I was there when you met this one, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So this guy was the second person that I actually was interested in other than the pilot. He was younger, 25, yikes. Oof. At the time I was 27 though, so it wasn't that bad, but it was still gross. He's sporty. None of the guys I'd ever liked before were sporty. They were all kind of artsy, skatery boy, but physically kind of the vibe, dark hair, mustache, kind of poorly kept. But he was tall-ish. He said he was 6'2". I
was not 6'2".
He's maybe 6. He's just a little dude. I met him when we were dancing at a bar on Halloween, and he looked so sad, and his friend who wanted to dance with was like, please dance with my friend, he just got out of a 7-year relationship. And I was like, oh shit, me too. So then obviously I went up and danced with the tall, sad, shy boy, because that's my type.
I want to say, from my perspective, the guy was only dancing with me because he wanted you to dance with the
varsity boy.
Varsity boy.
That's so interesting, because the varsity boy was already surrounded by girls. I kind of went up to him. Anyway, whatever. So we danced. He was into it. He tried to kiss me pretty fast. I was like, nah, not yet. He obviously liked that. Saved us from a couple creepy guys at the bar, which was cool.
Oh, he bought me a drink.
He bought us multiple drinks. I think 2, at least each. Yeah. Which is expensive.
Especially for his broke ass.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, made out in the bar and danced. It was really fun. Which I'd never had an experience like that because I was with a boring guy for so long. Then we were out on the street with Halloween makeup all over my face. He said the quote, "You're even prettier in the light."
I wish I could attach a photo to this podcast.
I looked like trash.
It was all down your face.
It was black clown makeup. It was so bad. Exchanged numbers. He texted me all night. The two of us were up texting him until 4 a.m. He was texting hilariously unhinged drunk shit.
Honestly, both of you were unhinged.
We were unhinged.
This was the weirdest
it was so fun.
Situationship interaction I've ever seen. Anytime you sent me a screenshot, I was like, is this a cry for help?
Yeah, honestly, so basically our chemistry was mad fire. It was really good, but it was really dark and twisty. It was very Halloween energy. We were both just kind of
spooky.
We were spooky, and also just no regard for the sanctity of anything. Nothing was off limits. We were just saying insane stuff to each other, and it was so fun. And I think that both of us were out of long-term relationships, and we're just being insane and didn't really care or think about it at the beginning because we both didn't think it was going to be anything. So anyway, that happened. He sent me a pic. He was hot as fuck and he was working with great material. And so
not a lot of hair though.
Well, he was wearing a hat. I didn't find out that he didn't have a lot of hair for a long time. Anyway, next day asked him to hang out. He did. Got me super drunk. So drunk that we got kicked out of a bar. The bouncer's like, you got to get her out of here. And he was like, gladly. Yeah, let's go.
Ooh.
Yeah, gross. Super icky vibes. He lifted me up. We had a lot of fun on the way home. Had sex in the stairwell. The next day I had huge bruises everywhere. All over my butt, all over my neck. Really unhinged.
Yeah.
Really unhinged behavior. I don't know why I saw him again.
Scratches from the bark of a tree.
Yeah, scratches. Like, I looked damaged. Like, that was really rough. And also, I'd like to note that within the first date, like well, not date really, but within meeting him, he told me that he played football for a very bad football team, like for a university that like nobody knows about. Well, people know about the university, but nobody knows that there's a football team there. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. And like, please bear in mind, if he's 25, and that means that he would have played football like 3 years ago. So he's telling me about something that happened 3 years ago. That's so cringy. Yeah. And I didn't even think about how weird that was at the time.
I did.
Why didn't you say that?
I did.
Anyway, so we had like a very interesting little vibe.
It was a vibe.
It was a vibe. We saw each other for like on and off like every week.
I'd
a couple
also
times
like
a week.
To say on the second hangout date thing, like after Halloween, I was also there briefly, and he was weird. He was awkward. He was shy.
He was shy and awkward.
Would not talk to me.
Yeah. The eye contact. Like, he was shy. He was awkward. He was actually awkward. Like, he's a sporty boy that you could tell was, like, part of, like, the nefarious, like, I don't want to say cool group, but, like, the sporty guys, like,
Totally.
But he wasn't the leader. He was, like, the shy one that's, like, kind of pretty and maybe people think is nice. And I think that that's what I liked about him, because that's kind of, like, a vibe I like, is, like, the kind of shy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he always told stories about, like, his friends, and sometimes he'd tell stories about people, and he wasn't even at the story.
That's weird.
That's really weird. Like, it'd be like me telling somebody stories about you and your other friend that I wasn't even at. Like, why am I telling them that story?
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about it, because I was just like, oh my god, this sporty tall guy, like, and he can pick me up. Like, it's nothing. He has great legs. His cardio game is crazy. Like, I just wasn't even thinking. I had no brain. That was crazy. Yeah, so we saw each other for 5 months. 6 months. Like, a few times a week. Talked every day. All the time. Never dated. I found out later that it was a situationship. Sneaky. Really fun. A sneaky little situationship. And then had the most romantic Valentine's Day that I've ever had in my life.
That's kind of rough. You
had
a 7-year relationship, and that was the most romantic one.
I mean, it was really cute, though. Yeah, but it was really cute.
Yeah, I know, but it's pretty sad.
It's sad. Oh, yeah, it's really sad. All of this podcast is sad. For both of us, in my honest opinion.
Welcome to the podcast where we just cry for an hour a day.
But anyway, he ghosted me, and I'd never been ghosted before, so that was really interesting. And the funniest thing is that at the beginning, when we were first talking, when it was extra chaotic, he was like, what if, like, we just never talked? And I was like, that would be crazy interesting, because I've never been ghosted. Like, what a great experience. Sign me up. Like, there were a few things like that, like foreshadowing that we joked about that actually happened that was hilarious. And I saw him months after we stopped talking, and he was with a girl that I think was his ex. I think they got back together, which... You know what? That's great for them.
It explains a lot.
It actually does. It makes sense. And if I was 25 and had broken up with my ex, there's a big chance that I would have gotten back with my ex after having, like, a fun situationship with somebody.
Totally. And he did the slow fade at first.
Yeah.
Into a ghost.
That's true. Like, it was a slow fade. Like, it was an intentional slow fade.
Yeah. Like, the canceling. Mm-hmm. Occasionally. And then the coming over and not having sex. Even though that was the majority of...
We played a lot of board games. I feel like actually a majority of our time was playing board games.
Sorry, I guess your situationship revolved around sex.
Oh, yeah, because our chemistry was crazy.
Yeah.
Good. And getting high.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is the year that I became a stoner girl. Anyway, this isn't very funny. But that was what happened.
Kind of depressing.
It is a little depressing. I'm very glad that it happened, though, because I feel like I learned a lot. I've never been ghosted before. I've never been in a situationship before. I didn't know that I liked sporty guys or tall guys, and now I know that I don't want to be with somebody who isn't sporty or tall ever again.
I just remembered, too, his friend at the club, he, like, did not want to be associated with him and was saying, like, oh, no, he's not my friend. But his friend was saying, we're best buds. We hang out every day.
And they did hang out every day.
Yeah, but Varsity Boy did not want to be associated with him for some reason.
And Varsity Boy isn't on any social media, which is totally fine, except for the fact that
It's suspicious
it's
as hell.
suspicious as hell. And also, I have a friend whose husband is a super nerd and obviously crept this guy and found his whole high school football team and then looked up all of the guys, and none of them are on social media. None of the guys. He literally looked up all of the guys, and none of them are on social media. And that's screaming Brock Turner vibes.
Oh.
Yeah, like I'm
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Don't sue us.
Allegedly. So sorry. I don't want to comment on any crime, but like it's giving
It's giving crime.
It's screaming sexual assault crime.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And then you also look at the facts of me being so bruised, him getting me ridiculously drunk when he already knew I was going to sleep with him. I told him, come hang out and bring condoms.
Yeah.
Like, I told him I was going to sleep with him. So why did he get me so drunk on Halloween? That's, like, kind of... It's pretty scary.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I don't like it either. And I don't know why I didn't realize... I was just stupid. I was out of a relationship, and I was like,
Naive.
I was so naive.
Stupid.
I was so naive.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's a big ick, but I had a lot of fun, and... I'm still waiting for him to message me. I think he will when it doesn't work out with his ex. And sometimes I just like daydream what mean thing I could respond to him.
If he texted you right now, what mean thing would you say?
Well, it depends on what he'd say. I think he'd probably like say an inside joke. We had so many inside jokes. I feel like he'd probably reference something like that.
I think he'd go straight to the rep. I could see it.
I could see him going straight to an inside joke. Like he'd be like,
Sorry,
hey, I'm such a bad duck. I've been such a bad duck. Would you want to, like, waddle on over or something? Like, he'd say something really stupid like that.
I think he'd say, I've been such a bad duck. Do you want to hang out? Or do you hate me? Should I off myself?
Yeah, he actually would say that. Because that's what that's totally what he would say. Or have you blocked me? He liked to say that, too. Have you blocked me? No, but I should have.
Shut up.
I should have so many times.
Oh my god, Kate, tell them about New Year's.
No, this is so embarrassing.
Tell them. I'll tell them.
Okay, do it.
So we were apart for New Year's.
I was alone.
Big tears.
And I'd like to...
You just ruined the story.
No, like, I'd like to start it with... My ex and I got together. Our first date was on New Year's Eve. And New Year's was, like, kind of a big deal for us. Like, we were always together. It was, like, I associated with him, obviously. Okay, go ahead.
So she thought, let's invite Varsity Boy. I'm into him. He's into me.
And if he says
then I
no,
won't be
then
lonely.
That's fine. I'll hang out with my other friends. But he didn't say no. He said yes.
He said yes. So she got all dolled up. She's FaceTiming me. She looks so cute.
Thank you. I looked cute.
And he said I'll come over after I make an appearance.
Just stop by a friend's birthday party.
Yeah, gotta make an appearance, then I'll come over. So she's sitting there waiting. He's still not there. It's 11:59. Is he gonna make it in time for the New Year's kiss? No.
Is so depressing. And the last time that he texted me was at 10 o'clock or something. He texted me at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And I just went to bed at 11.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Did he text you that night or no?
I think he texted me at like 2 something.
So no.
I didn't respond. And then he texted me again in the morning like, hey, like, I'm so sorry. Like, would you believe that I'm at the ferry doing this, like, dropping off a friend?
Awful.
Like, or have you, like, can I make it up to you or am I blocked? That's what he said.
Ugh.
I should have blocked him.
But don't worry, because he made it up to her on her birthday, didn't he? Oh, no. That's right. He also no-showed to that. Thank goodness you had a group of friends and didn't have to think about him. Oh.
Or my actual birthday, when we went to the same place that I met him, and there he was, on my birthday, dancing with some mid-girl, no offense, who looked kind of like same colors as me, and
same colors,
like same hair and stuff, and he was dancing with her and pretended not to see me. Then I tapped him on the shoulder quite firmly, and he looked so scared.
Yeah,
he looked so scared. He looked like
he saw a ghost.
He did. And then he was looking for me all night. I ruined his night.
Good.
Which was awesome.
As you should.
Yeah. He's the worst. I don't know why. I just wish it ended in December when I went away for Christmas.
Yeah, me too.
I knew it was gonna, so...
Yeah, you did predict that, but you didn't listen to yourself.
No, I didn't want to because I really liked him. I just, for some reason, I built him up in my mind. But he's just a guy.
He's just a guy. We
He's
gotta
just
remember
a little
that.
dude. He's just a little dude.
Just a little dude.
All guys are just guys, in my books.
They're just little dudes.
They're all just little dudes. And some of them are bad ducks, for real. So, the moral of this story actually is, block him.
Block him. When you get that feeling...
If you get even a slight inkling that he's a little bad, block him.
He's done.
He's done, bud. Okay, I hate this one. I want this episode to be over.
I don't think we're done, though.
I think we're done. It's been long enough. So, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in to Hundreds and Thousands.
We will be having a second podcast on the Varsity Boy.
We certainly will not. That was a joke. Don't forget to like and subscribe. XOXO Gossip Girl. Roll the credits, Ricky.
Roll